Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to
The final podcast.
the final podcast, and I'm with the one and only ThiccBoiJohn, uh,
Hello.
or Johnny. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you're doing good on this late, not really late, but night. Um, so I think we should just get right into it.
Sure.
So my first question is, why did you start YouTube?
Um, well, for I wanted to kind of. I thought that whenever we played games, not just like you and me, but with when we played with Andrew, when we played with all the guys that are usually my videos,
Right.
it was always so fun and so funny. And I mean, I shouldn't say always was. I mean, it always has been. Sorry, I shouldn't say it always has been. I mean, it always is funny and fun to play with them. And I just thought having videos of that, like having those best moments saved and put online, would not only potentially do well, but I mean, it would just be nice to have that and be nice to like watch them, whether or not my channel ends up doing well or not.
Right. And
I also
I
wanted,
you go first.
okay, uh, I also wanted to kind of make videos where I just kind of talk about games and stuff, or maybe review them or something like that. And I haven't really gotten to that, and I don't really know when I will or if I will, but for now, it's just kind of been those kinds of videos where we're just playing games.
Yeah, that actually ties into a question I have later. So,
Perfect.
but I do I do agree. I do think that saving those moments online is smart, and I do think that uh if you keep at it, it could get
They're
somewhere.
good memories. I
That is
just like
also
to have
true.
them.
Yeah, I think they're good to keep, and like one of these days, whether maybe you're just bored or something, you could always go back and watch them. So I really do think it was a good idea. And
I
I
just
think
wish it started
it's,
sooner.
yeah.
I should have started this back in like 2016, 2017.
Well, at the time you were younger, right? So it's
Yeah,
fair to say that you probably also didn't have the greatest. I mean, for 2017, it was probably pretty good, but who knows how the quality would have been. You also didn't know how to edit back then.
yeah, that's
So
very
the
true. I
editing,
didn't know editing. The computer wasn't as good, and we
so
were all younger, so yeah,
yeah,
videos would have probably been worse than they already are.
exactly. Um, so my second question is, what is your favorite video on your channel?
Ah, that's a tough one because like the funniest one would probably be the Roblox Build a Boat one, like the first one.
That was a good
But
video.
even that, like there are some others that are pretty good too, like the GTA Online Casino one. I like
That
that
was a
one.
good
The
one.
message, that behind the scenes video is short, but like I always thought that one was pretty funny. The some of the pyramid schemes are pretty good. All the Cold War, every Cold War video I've uploaded, I really like.
Yeah, I really
But out,
if
but
you want, you
like
can go ahead.
out of um out of all the videos though, the ones I've spent the most time on are definitely the message and like the pyramid scheme videos. So part of me would also say like those are like debatably the best ones. It just kind of depends how you look at it.
Right, and I do agree. I think the pyramid scheme ones and the message ones they're more like they're better edited and they're way higher quality because
Oh
you end up
yeah, for
spending
sure.
way more time on it. But
Especially
I
season
do,
two. I didn't edit those, but Andrew did. That editing job was really good.
yeah. And but like editing standpoint aside, I think there's many other favorite like yeah, the editing job can be good, but that doesn't mean it's your favorite video. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
I
think
have
overall, like Like when it comes to how funny the video is, I think the Roblox one would be it.
Yeah, I think that's fair because the Build a Boat
When
is a
I
good
made
video.
Yeah, and when I made that video, that's like all the best moments so far. Almost that entire Roblox video is in that compilation.
Yeah, that's fair. Alrighty. So on to our third question today. Out of
Hmm.
mine, yours, and Andretti Hundreds or Andrew's channel, name one thing you think each channel is really good at and really bad at,
Huh.
and
It's
also
a good
explain
question.
why you think that.
So something each channel is good at and bad at.
Yes,
Okay,
but not
well,
just good, really good at.
okay. I think Andrew, by far, his editing is his best thing, the best thing on his channel.
Right. Yeah, I
Like
agree. I think.
it's surprising how good it is, considering I've been editing for like I think about a year longer than Andrew has. And when I showed him Premiere Pro, I showed him the bare bones, the basics of how to use Premiere Pro. And when I say I showed the basics, I mean like I showed him how to cut and how to add clips and how to export. And like that was it. Like
Yeah.
that even barely counts as the basics. And this guy on his own learned how to use Premiere Pro so much that he's now surpassed both of us in editing. And
Yeah, I
he's probably surpassed most people on on YouTube.
yeah,
Like
I do
the editing
think
is really good.
yeah, I think editing is definitely a really strong suit for Andrew's channel. I think it's way different than anybody else's that I've seen personally, and um, I do think one of the like when Andrew's editing in a video, it's definitely like when he really gets into it and he spends like a lot of time on it. I think it's one of the super highs of his channel.
Yeah, for sure. And the worst part of Andrew's channel is his lack of videos. Like
Yes.
I think with how good his editing is, it's just a shame that pretty much all there is on his channel is Pyramid Scheme. Besides what like three or four other things,
Yeah.
two or three of those other random things are like just random up videos he up. Like I'm looking at his channel now, and besides Pyramid Scheme, he has the TF2 video, which was good. He has the message trailer, which even he himself says doesn't really count. He has the COD Zombies video, which is great. That is a really good video. And then he has his album, which again was him just playing with music, just trying to test things. It wasn't really like a video. I just think he needs to upload more videos that aren't Pyramid Scheme.
I
Out
agree.
of the three of us, I think he has the most potential to become big. Just how good he is at editing and how good like his videos are.
Pretty bold statement, especially since you're really consistent with your channel. So,
Yes, but my videos have little to no editing.
right.
Um, I guess I'll go with yours next. The worst part's probably I'd probably say the same thing as Andrew. I think you just haven't uploaded enough. I
Right.
think you just need to upload more and upload more often. And I'm glad it seems like you're finally starting to do that, considering you're starting this podcast and you started working on other videos.
Yes. I'm
But I
super
think you
excited about my
just,
next one.
I think you just need to upload more often. I think, and you just try to get better at editing those two. The best part, though, I will say, I do like the your idea of the like love and hate series,
Right.
making a series where you either um oh, this is why I love this thing, this is why I hate this thing, or here's why I love and hate this thing. I think it's a good way of like reviewing something or talking about something, and
Right.
like what I'm trying to say is like it's the way you do it is kind of unique. Like I see
Right.
people review things and talk about things, but I never see them make a whole video of, well, this is why I love this thing. Usually they're just like, okay, here's my overall thoughts on this thing, or
Right.
here's why I hate this thing. Like, I think the way you do it is kind of interesting and kind of unique. I don't really see many people doing it the way that you do. So in my opinion, I think that's the best part of your channel.
Yeah, I do think like Andrew's had some pretty good ideas, but I think out of the three of us, I think I'm not trying to like not trying to boost my ego, but I think out of the three of us, I think like if I had to say like for me, I think for my own channel, my personal thing is I think I'm really good at making YouTube video ideas
I'd agree with that.
because I think my editing is decent. Like I don't think it's anything crazy. Like I've made some edits that took me a lot longer than it really should have, but
Well,
I
no matter what you
think
do, editing takes a while.
well, I guess that's true. But there's just specific edits that really shouldn't have taken that long.
Right.
And yeah, I think that's definitely a strong suit. Now, what about your channel? What do you think is really good
Um,
and really bad at about your channel?
the best part about my channel, I'd say, is probably just the actual moments, like the funny moments.
Right.
I like out of if I were to make a list of like the funniest YouTube channels, my I would like as bad as this sounds, I would put my own channel at like near the top.
Right.
And I'm not saying that because I think I have the best channel in the world or anything, but I'm just saying like some of the clips on here have like so funny. Like that Roblox
Yeah.
video. Like I've watched that so many times and I laugh at it every single time.
Yeah, that robot video is really good.
Like almost every video on my channel I can watch and enjoy and laugh at. And the worst part of my channel, I'd say, is probably the editing. I
Fair
just
enough.
hate editing so much. So whenever I upload a video, the funny moments themselves are funny enough for the video to be entertaining. So I just end up putting little to no editing at all in them. Unless it's something like the message or pyramid scheme or something that's like a bigger deal, then I will take the time to do some more editing. But for the most part, I basically do nothing when it comes to editing, and that I think is the worst part of my channel because every video, like even though they're all, or at least most of them are pretty funny, like they all feel very plain and boring when you're just kind
Right.
of watching them. Do you get what I
Well,
mean? Like there's not
yeah, I
much
do
going
get what
on
you
in the video
mean.
besides what we're saying or
It
doing.
feels like you have a really good base, kind of like a blueprint, but you need the extra stuff to it,
Yes,
basically.
I agree with that.
Like if I was the one answering this question, I would say that I would agree with that. I think I think your main issue is that you're not adding enough when you're editing.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Alrighty, those were really good answers. Um, our next question today is this is the one I was talking about that ties into earlier.
Right.
Do you think, or sorry, let me rephrase that. Do you want to make other types of videos in the future? Why or why not?
I do. I just don't know exactly what I want to make, how I want to make it, or when I'm gonna make it.
Right,
Um, I've been wanting to make videos, like scripted videos of me talking about games or reviewing games or like something like that. But or maybe talking about certain topics. Um, I just don't know how I want to make those videos or what I want to make them about or when I even want to start making them. Because again, that adds on to the same problem as my regular videos now is that takes a lot of editing, even more than these videos
right,
that I already upload. And I would have to write a script and come up with all the ideas and then I need some kind of gameplay in the background I'd, and then I'd have to make up a thumbnail and title. And not that that's super hard. I'm really not a fan of editing.
right.
like by the end of it, I think I, I would be pretty satisfied, and I think I truly believe I can make some kind of decent videos like that. I just yeah, I'm just struggling to come up with how I want to make those, what I want them to look like, and when I'm actually going to start trying to make those. But I
Right.
think for the most part, I think my channel will just pretty much be what I'm uploading now. But
Do
every so
you
often, I would want to try to make a video like that.
right? Do you think it's more of you're out of like you can't think of good ideas to make those types of videos, or is it the fact that you just don't feel like doing them?
No, I think I can come up with ideas. It's just actually making them and making them well that I'm just
Right.
kind of struggling with and worried about. Cause I don't mind spending a lot of time on it. It's just I don't think I'm gonna actually like sitting there and editing this
And
a
editing
long
it and
video
putting the
and listening to
music
my
and
voice for like hours.
yeah, that was like I've made like a few scripted videos now, so I'm more used to it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true
I
too. I just have to get used to it.
yeah, like it does. Like at first, when I made my first "Why I Love and Hate," that was the FNAF security breach video. Which by the way, I still think that video is great, but it was kind of weird, right? Because I was sitting there thinking, well, I could add more, but I feel like this is fine, you
Yeah,
know. But like for me, I've kind of gotten used to listening to my own voice at this rate. It's like it used to really bug me. Like I remember when I first started editing my videos, like that was something that really bugged me was hearing my own voice, and I thought about how cringy I sounded.
yeah,
But I think it's something that like you do like it's a lot easier to get used to when you make scripted videos. So I think if you just make like just do like a test run of one video maybe see, is this something that I enjoy doing? And I think that would really not only would that help your channel because it would lead your viewers to be like, oh, well, this is something new. So I'd be more that your current viewers would be more interested in something new, right? Because they would think, oh, well, I've never seen him do this
yeah,
before. So I do think it's a good idea, but I do understand why you would have concerns or why um, you think hearing your voice over and over and over again for hours would get really annoying.
yeah. I definitely want to make at least one or two videos like that. I just don't know when,
Right.
but I definitely want to do it and try to get used to it and see and see how I feel about it. And then depending on how I feel, maybe I'll make more or maybe I'll just kind of stop there.
That's a good answer. So, so that
The way
sounded
you
really
said
awful.
it,
I know that
that's a
sounded
good
really.
answer.
I didn't mean it. I did not mean to do it like that. My bad. My bad. Um, so, anyways, the next question is, I guess it kind of ties into this. No, I don't know. Are you gonna make longer videos in the future? Because you kind of make shorter end videos. Like you'll have the time to time where it's like pyramid scheme where it's really long, but aside from pyramid scheme and things like the message, which that also ties into a really later on question. Um, do you think you're gonna make longer videos in the future?
Um, I feel like it depends on the video. Like
Right,
for like a scripted video kind of thing, I wouldn't mind if they were longer. And if it's something special, like or something that's a bigger deal, like the message or pyramid scheme or something like that, then I also don't mind them being longer. But when it comes to the videos I'm making now, somewhere in the 20-minute range is like the max that I'll go. And even
right,
that I feel like is too long. I think the like 9-minute to 15-minute mark is like perfect. Somewhere in that range is perfect for these kinds of videos.
right,
Anytime I go shorter or longer than that, it just doesn't it just feels either too short or too long.
right. Do you think that comes down to something like attention span, where you think that if it's not long enough, or sorry, if it's too long, you think they're more inclined to click off the video, or is it more something that it would just end up being boring?
Um, I guess both. Like my YouTube stats say that the average viewers watch the first like 2 minutes of my videos and stop.
Right.
Um, for me personally, I could easily watch these videos for hours. It's just whenever I sit down and actually record us playing stuff, we usually it usually ends up being like 1, 2, 3 hours long. And by the time I am done cutting it down, it is always somewhere between 8 or 9 to 30 minutes long. That of like what's left of like the funny moments, the best moments, the more important moments, stuff like that. And I
Yeah,
just think that like if I add in any more or remove any more from that, then the videos is not as good.
that's fair.
But I will say that like I guess attention span and things like that, them being only like 10, 15, 20 minutes does help. But that's not like the main reason why I don't make them longer.
Right. I guess this is a side question to this, since it's basically the same one. Are you
Right.
gonna? Would you? This isn't on the sheet I'm looking at, but I'm just kind of curious. Because of those stats and because of what you just said, do you think you would make a shorter video,
Well,
like
I've
maybe a
tried
one-off?
making shorter videos. I've tried making like I've uploaded a couple of like 5 minute long videos, and they
Right.
pretty much do the same views wise as the like 15, 20 minute long videos.
Right.
So I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. And I mean, I just always have enough footage to make a longer video. Where those few times where I've uploaded shorter videos was just because that's all I had. Um, but no, I don't really think I'd plan on making some kind of shorter video. I think I prefer the lengths that I'm doing now.
Okay. Next question. Do you think you would make Let's Play videos? Why or why not?
I've definitely thought of it and considered it, but I think I might save that for streaming. I
That
think
also ties into another question I asked.
I think I would much rather stream me playing through a game than me uploading videos of me playing through a game.
Right.
Unless it was me playing a game and like 1 or 2 or 3 other people were watching me play the game and were like on call with me.
Yeah, I think that's
Then
valid.
that I'd be okay with uploading as videos or streaming. I'd be fine with both. But if it was just me playing through a game, I think personally I'd much rather do it as like a stream kind of thing than uploading a whole series.
That's fair. Um, Next question. Are there any big projects you're working on that you're
Um,
willing to share? Of course.
Besides the season 2 of Pyramid Scheme, not really. Like I said, I definitely want to make some kind of scripted video, and I guess that could become a big project, depending on what it is and how long it is. But yeah, pretty much no. There isn't
Okay.
really anything big.
This is non-YouTube related finally. Um, what games are you excited about? I figured you're a gaming channel, so you'd probably want to at least talk a little bit about
Like games
things that you
that are
play.
coming out.
Yeah, games that are coming out. Like, what are you excited about that's coming out?
Um, I'm really excited for Resident Evil 4 remake. That game looks really good, and I've only heard good things about Resident Evil 4. I'm really excited for. What was I just? Oh, the 2 Yakuza games coming out this year. There's one coming out in
Right.
February, and there's one coming out later this year, and both of them seem really cool. Those are probably the number one games that are coming out, at least ones that come out this year that I really want.
That's fair. Um, here's a YouTube one, but I think it's interesting. Can we
Okay.
expect you to make videos on other genres such as music or film?
Um, I mean, probably not, but I've definitely thought about it before.
Right.
Like, maybe I'd make some kind of video about like a movie or a show or something, but it just doesn't fit my channel. It's something I've thought about before, but I just don't think it fits my channel. My channel's mostly like a gaming focused thing,
Right.
and I think me just randomly uploading videos about movies and shows and whatever, unless I turn my channel into that, but I don't know. I don't really plan on doing that. Maybe if
Here's
I make a
a
scripted video and like I'm talking about a game that's like
right.
from the same franchise as a movie or show or whatever. Or if there's like a movie or show based off the game, then maybe I'd mention that or talk about it.
Okay, here's a side question to that then. Would you
Okay.
make another YouTube channel, kind of like ThiccBoiJohn Extras, where you delve into topics like that, so that way it's not an odd one out on your channel?
Um, I mean, if I end up really liking scripted videos and if they end up doing well, then maybe I'd make a separate channel where I just talk about like movies and shows and stuff. But
Right.
I would only do that if I ended up liking them and if they like were starting to do well.
Fair
I don't
enough.
think I'd do that now.
Um, here's to the next question. Are there plans on streaming in the future? And if so, what would you stream? This is kind of what I meant by you just
Yeah.
tied into another
Well, I
question.
kind of said this already, but I think, well, actually, I didn't really confirm it, but yeah, I do want to start streaming on my channel. I don't, that's another thing where I just don't really know when that's going to happen or how I'm going to do it, but I really want to try it again and just, because I did try it on Twitch and I wasn't really that big of a fan of it, but at the same time, it lagged a lot because my computer wasn't as good and I only tried it like, what, like 3, 4 times?
Yeah,
And
those
those 3 or 4 times, I pretty much played only one game. So I think I just really want to give it a like a good try this time. Like I want to play
right,
different games. I want to try longer streams. I want to try doing it more than 3 or 4 times. Um,
right,
but I don't really know what I would play yet. I definitely try some kind of let's play thing. Um, I'd try playing games that we've played on my channel, like TF2 and COD. Like that'd be cool if I did a stream where I just played through a bunch of different COD Zombies maps or something.
right. Fair enough. Um, here's an interesting question. What is your favorite game to record?
Ooh, that's a good question. Hmm. Well, a part of me wants to say Gmod
Right.
because you can do anything in that game. The game is just really fun, and it's really easy to just make videos out of that because it's always fun when we play. Uno is another one that always ends up being good video.
Yeah,
Uno always and makes a good video,
I'd
no matter
partially take
who's
credit.
on or no matter who's on or what we're doing. It's if we're playing Uno, it's gonna be good. That's always how
Yeah.
it is. I regret now recording Uno more. Um, yeah, probably Gmod and Uno. Among Us was great too. We don't have as many people to play that anymore, but if we did, I would love to go back to that and play that again because that would be perfect. Among Us was always good. Yeah, probably
Yeah,
those three: Among Us, Gmod, and Uno.
I think that's those are fair answers. I'm surprised you didn't say Minecraft though.
Well, Minecraft doesn't really work well. I've
Right.
noticed. I've tried recording Minecraft in the past, and it's something I want to try again. But whenever we end up playing Minecraft, there ends up not really being that many funny moments. We usually just focus so much on the game that we don't really end up doing or saying a lot of stupid or weird or funny things. I mean, there
Right.
definitely are moments to the point where if I recorded for a really long time, maybe I would have enough to make a video. But yeah, for the most part, Minecraft usually ends up not really doing well.
That's fair.
Unless I
Um,
streamed it, then maybe
yeah.
that would work, but I don't know.
Alrighty. So here's another interesting one. Um, I'm gonna reiterate it though. Aside from pyramid scheme and the message, since those basically count as this, uh, are you interested in making collab videos?
Oh, I've been wanting to for a while. I don't really know what they would be or who I would make them with, but I'd absolutely be down to like make some work together on some videos with you or with like anyone I make videos with. I'd
Right.
love to make something with Andrew or with Aiden or Steven or you or pretty much anyone who's been in my videos.
Right. Here's a side question then. If a YouTuber similar size to you asked to make a collab video with you, would you do it?
Um, that depends. I would have to look at their channel and see what their videos are like and see what they're like. Because if it ends up being a video I'm not happy with, or if they end up being someone I don't really like, then I don't think I'd do it. But if I watch
Right.
some of their videos and I kind of talk to them for a bit and I realize that they're like that I end up do liking them and I end up liking their channel, then yeah, maybe.
That's fair. Here's a music question. What is your
Okay.
favorite video game soundtrack?
Oh man, that is hard.
I know, that's why I put it.
The TF2 soundtrack is great, but I don't know if I'd
Right.
say that's my number one favorite.
I really
Um,
like TF2s too.
the Minecraft one is great.
Yeah, I agree.
One of my favorites for sure would be Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That
Right.
soundtrack is so good. Just trying to think what else. Yeah, those three are probably up there.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think those are good answers.
Undertale and Deltarune are also really good.
Yeah, I was about to say I really like those ones too. Um, Now here's a film related question. What is your favorite film
Ever?
ever?
Um, probably The Dark Knight,
Dark Knight,
but
eh?
I also really like Avengers: Infinity War. That's another one.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the villain winning for once.
Yeah, that ending is probably one of my favorite movie endings. Maybe even my favorite movie ending. I also
That's
really like um the good Star Wars movies.
right.
Those would definitely be up there. But for a number one favorite, it would probably be The Dark Knight.
It's fair. Here's another interesting one. Would you ever do a Q&A?
Well, I mean, this is almost like one. But yeah, I mean, I'd do one. I just don't think I'm big enough to like ask people to ask me questions
Right.
unless I went to each one of my friends and got and asked them to ask me one or two questions, which I guess could work. But I feel like a Q&A would work better if I had like a
With
group of like a
viewers.
yes, exactly. If there were actual viewers watching my videos, leaving comments. So I would be down for that. I just don't think right now. I just don't think it would work like right now.
Right. Um, this one might be tough. This one could be easy or hard to answer.
Okay.
Um, do you expect to do YouTube as a long-term thing? If so, why or why not?
Um, that is hard to it's hard to say. because I don't really know how things are gonna go with
Right,
me or the channel or my life or how any of our friends and families' lives will go. So I don't really know because like if I'm not recording with all of you guys, I don't know who I would record with, if anyone. And if there's no one to record with, then I'm kind of stuck to making just scripted videos. And
right,
unless I end up loving those, um, well, if I ended up loving those, then I could just make those for a while. But if
right.
not, then once everyone else is kind of done with playing games, then I'd have nothing else to upload. So I don't know. I mean, 10 years, I would absolutely be down to do YouTube for a long time. It is, even though I don't like the whole editing part, YouTube in general is still pretty fun to do. So
Yeah,
I would absolutely be down to do it for a long period of time. It's just depending on how things go, I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. But if I can, then yes, it will go on for a while.
I think that's a fair answer, especially since you don't know what the future is gonna be like. So,
Exactly.
here's another question I just thought about. Um, do you think aside from gaming, this is kind of tying into another question, you would do other hobbies on your channel? So like I doubt you ever would, but let's like I'm gonna give you a hypothetical. Let's say you started to get into guitar or something. Do you think
Right.
you would upload videos of that, or do you think you would stick strictly to just what you're into at the moment, which is gaming?
Um, I mean, I, I'm probably, I'd say the same thing as I said before, where like, because my channel is, I want my channel to mostly be like a gaming focused thing.
Right.
So I don't think I would on this channel. But if I ended up liking making videos about different stuff, and if they ended up doing well, then I'd for sure make some kind of second channel where I would upload that kind of stuff. But on
Right.
this, the regular Thick Boy John channel, no, I don't think I'd ever really, unless they were somehow gaming related, then no, I don't think I ever really would.
Okay. Um, any plans to upload more often? If not, why?
Um, well, yes and no. Yes, because I think uploading more often would be better for the channel, but also no, because I like the once a week thing. It gives me time to record, edit, and upload.
Right.
And I don't always have tons and tons of footage, so if I upload once a week, it gives me time to get more. Like there are some times where we end up not playing anything for like a week, and if I
Right.
upload like 2 or 3 videos every week, then all the footage I have is going to be gone by like the end of the month.
Yeah.
Before that, even. So if I spread it out more, it gives me more time to record and come up with ideas and edit and stuff like that. So
Right.
I guess that's another thing that I guess we'll just see how it goes and we'll see how often I get footage and how well videos do.
Here's one on pyramid scheme. Um, are there other videos you want to make on pyramid scheme? Things like analysis or reacting to other POVs?
For a while, I've been wanting to make, pretty much since we started the first season, I've been wanting to make some kind of video where I will rewatch every single pyramid scheme video, including every perspective of it, and just kind of talk about each episode and kind of talk about what happened in it, what was I thinking during certain moments, what was going on behind the scenes, things like that. And that would honestly probably be one of the first scripted videos I upload. But I think I want to wait until season 2 is done before I start making that.
Speaking of pyramid scheme, do you think you'll make videos like that in the future, or do you think pyramid scheme is that last of that type of video?
Like a competition kind of video, you mean?
Like that, but also a video that's takes you a while to make and is really well edited and is
Oh
gaming.
no. I can definitely see me uploading more stuff like that in the future. I don't think the pyramid scheme will be the end of longer, well edited, better made videos.
But what about competition, like you had mentioned?
I mean, I'd be down for something like that with a
Okay,
different people or maybe the same people but with different kinds of things. I'd be down to do Pyramid Scheme forever for as long as the channel goes on for.
right.
I'd be fine with doing 10 more seasons of the Pyramid Scheme. But yeah, I'd be down for different kinds of videos like that.
We'd be taking those memes of us milking the message like to the next level if we did
Yeah,
10 more seasons. All right.
but I mean, I'd be down. They're fun to make.
Yeah. Um. Alrighty. So this is indeed the last. You know what? I have another question after this. So this is the
Okay,
second last question.
all right.
Um. Would you make other series like The Message in the future?
Like videos where we kind of act out some kind of story.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be just us. It could be anybody. It could be yourself, or things that are kind of story based videos, if that makes
Um,
sense.
I don't know because I don't really like acting, but at the same time, stuff like that can really add to videos depending on what the video is and how it's made and whatever.
Yeah,
So there's a part of me that is like, yeah, sure, I'd love to do more of that, but there's a part of me that also just doesn't like acting and doesn't want to do that again. So I
right.
don't know. I mean, stay tuned in the pyramid scheme because you might see a little bit of that. But
Interesting.
besides that, I guess it kind of depends on how I'm feeling and who I'm doing it with and what the videos itself are.
And last question. I think it would be interesting, just add a little bit of uh flavor to the podcast if the person I'm interviewing got to ask me one question.
Okay.
So ask me one question and I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
All right. Um.
It can be
Okay.
anything, channel related, music related, whatever.
Well, now that you've asked me all these YouTube questions, I'm kind of curious about your YouTube plans.
Right,
Um. So I'm gonna ask the same question you asked me. Since your channel, it seems like is like mostly a gaming based channel,
right,
do you plan on keeping it like that or do you plan on moving on to other things? Because I know recently, especially, you've been really into music and like anime and manga and that kind of thing.
right.
So I'm curious, like, do you plan on uploading different kinds of things plus gaming? Do you plan on making separate channels? Do you plan on not making videos like that at all? Like, what is your plan for stuff like that?
It's a good question. Honestly, I think I originally started this channel as like gaming only, right?
Right,
Because when I was making it, I that was what I was into. I didn't have many other hobbies. I wasn't into music at the time. The only thing I knew about music was uh maybe like one piano key and video game OSTs basically.
right.
So, music and back in the day when I made my channel, I used to be one of those people that blindly hated things like anime, and I didn't really watch shows, I didn't watch movies. So I was in a different mindset when I made the channel. But I think now that I'm older and I've branched out my hobbies into not just being one thing, I think I want to make my channel not just gaming, but multiple things. And I
All the
actually
stuff that
have,
you're into.
yeah, I think not only that, but it would be easier to make videos. They would also come out quicker
Right.
because, as you had mentioned, uh, my upload schedule is the equivalent of once in the quarter year.
Yeah.
So, um, I make about four. If that's true, I make about four videos a year, which is not very good if you couldn't tell. So, I think I want to branch out and I want to do things like music. I don't know if I would make anime and stuff like that. I'm not really the guy to go. And honestly, I'm not even too sure about music, but I do want to try at least music once, but I don't know if I would ever make anime videos cuz I think that stuff is more subjective and
Right.
I think it's hard to review things like that. Like music is easier because there's a lot of things to dissect in music. Like there's the production, there's the lyrics,
Well, I
there's
mean, so there is an anime and manga and stuff like that too.
well, I
And I'd
guess
say
yeah,
music is
but
subjective too.
well, I okay, let me rephrase that. I think it's easier to review music than it is actually, and not even just reviews. I think it's just easier to make videos on music than it is on anime and manga because I think that um like just personally, like it's a lot easier to dissect music. Like it's a lot
Right.
easier to talk about one thing in music
You know
whereas
more about it and you're more into
yeah,
it.
and not even just that, but like even the thought of like reviewing like just one out of my mind like it would be super hard for me to review AOT only
Right.
because it's really hard to talk about the story, right? Like when you're talking about an anime or something, it can either be like really easy to talk about a certain subject or it can be really difficult. But with music, because you're talking about because it doesn't really change that much, like the way you're talking about, like let's say for example, I was talking about the story of AOT, right? That's a difficult story. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of changes in it where as in music, yeah, obviously every song the production is different, but you have the same idea, right? You know, how does the beat sound? How does the lyrics sound? Does he flow well? Does he or she flow well, right? Whereas when it's anime, depending on the genre you're watching, your review can do a complete 180 on the questions you're asking.
Right. I see what you
So
mean.
I don't I don't think I would do anime, but I do think it would be nice to do gaming and music
I
to
see.
answer your question. And I do have plans to expand. So yes, to answer your question, I do want to make other videos that isn't just gaming.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's the podcast, the final
The
podcast,
final
episode one
podcast.
with Thick Boy John or Johnny. Thank you for showing up
No problem.
and
Thank you for
speaking
having me.
with me. No problem. I hope you enjoyed the questions I asked. I tried not to make it too repetitive, and I tried to make them hard to. I
But they
tried to
were
make them
they were
more
pretty good
elaborative.
questions.
Yeah, and I know like YouTube is your main interest, so I tried to lean more into that.
Well, let's say gaming is more my interest than YouTube, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that was enjoyable for you.
It was.
Um,
This was good.
yeah, and I hope that if you're still listening, I hope you enjoyed that. I think for our first episode, this wasn't that bad, and expect more in the very future, and expect my next video very soon as I'm in the process of writing it. Um, yeah,
Finally.
thank you. Yeah, it's the quarter year, okay? It's been 3 months. I can check. We're now in the new quarter. It's Q1. I need to make a video up on by March. So, um, thank you guys for watching or listening, I should say now. Thank you for joining, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day or night. Bye bye.